very cuddly today, aren't we? Okay, I just have to accept every time I come out here, it's going to be windy and not ideal for filming, but I really want to be able to show you the start of our autumn winter veggie crops, to show you what we've got growing and to keep a little track of how it goes. It has been actually a really good autumn season. We haven't had a lot of rain, but we've had so much sunny, warm days, so the soil is still warm, meaning that everything has been able to germinate, and yeah, it's going well so far. So I'm sitting beside our netted beds. I'm going to show you what we've got in there, and I'm going to turn you around so that you can see it better. Here I've planted my Tuscan Kale. I like Tuscan Kale because it has a nice long leaf and it doesn't get as crinkly, so you can find the caterpillars quite easily. Like, there's something just there I've missed. You can see that? A bit blurry. When I planted these out, I straight away netted them up, because last year when we planted out our kale, we didn't net them, and we figured that the white moth would not attack them because it was like close to winter. We still have white moth around because of the warm season we've got, so we've netted them, and I thought I'd be fine, but then I noticed that there are some holes, so that means there have been some little grubs eating them. And my mum said it was most likely when I bought these as seedlings, they probably had the grub on them. So whenever you buy your seedlings, just check that you've got rid of all the grubs on the leaves before you plant them. At this end of the bed, I've got, this is normal broccoli, so it's just your normal green variety of broccoli. I've got 4 planted in there, and they are doing really well. They actually haven't been attacked by anything, so that's really good. The setup for this bed is pretty simple. We've used some PV pipe that we just had on hand, and used like a bamboo stick, stuck that in, and then put the PV pipe over the top, and then we ran out of that, and so we had to use our wooden stakes, and then so the net didn't break, I've added some just little pots on the top, just so that it wouldn't rip through the net. And then we've used rocks to secure it around the sides, so just rocks we had on the property, and that is working for us so far, although we would ideally like to get more of this pipe because it holds up better than the stakes. In the second brassica bed, I'm just going to hop under here with it, it's just easier. I have baby bunching broccoli. Try saying that fast. So whenever I'm under here, I'm weeding as well. That's not a broccoli, I don't think. Or was it? Was it broccoli? No. So this is going to be like those little sort of more fancy broccolis that you can buy from the shops in there, like in little bunches. So I'm excited for that. They've taken off pretty well. This one over here, he's still small. But I checked them for grubs as well, and they don't seem to have much on them. And then on this side, I have our purple cabbage. So we haven't grown purple cabbage or any type of cabbage before, so I'm really excited to see how these go. They've actually doubled in size since I planted them a couple weeks ago, so yeah, I'm excited for those. Another handy thing to attach the net down is these little peg things. So you sort of bunch your net like that, and then you just poke it through, and then it's voila, gonna stay for you. So here we've been able to use this pipe again, and it's been really good. It's getting a bit wonky with all the wind we have, but yeah, it's doing the trick, keeping all the butterflies and the moths and everything off the brassicas. This is our third bed, and we've got some beetroot that's pretty much ready to harvest now. You can see it's sort of showing, so that's showing me that it's ready to come out of the ground. And then we've just planted 2 cauliflowers. We've kind of decided against growing them because they don't, they just produce 1 cauliflower head and that's it. Whereas with broccoli, you get multiple heads of broccoli. So in here we have 1 that is growing really well. And we planted this quite early on in the season, like maybe February, March. And we didn't cover it up, so that's why it's been attacked by the white moth. This is the other broccoli head, but I've heard somewhere that you're meant to like cover them up with the leaves, like the broccoli, the cauliflower head with the leaves. So I've just loosely tied the leaves around this one. So I'm doing an experiment to see if it grows any better than this one that's just freely open. Come around to this side of the bed, and we have got some Swedes growing, and then a broccoli and another kale. These were just my leftovers from the punnet that didn't fit in the other bed, so I just squished them in here and hope for the best. And you can see this one has been attacked. It's not covered. I did spray it with a chili and garlic spray. We don't use any like pesticides or anything. And yeah, it's not as healthy as the ones that have been covered. Like that just came off. But it probably will survive, but yeah, just doesn't quite look as healthy. So that's that bed. Then come around to the middle, and this is kind of like our lettuce bed. In this bed we have snow peas growing. I initially planted them thinking they were broad beans because they were as seedlings, and it's not until now that I've realised they're snow peas. We've still got our marigolds growing from the summer. They've brought some pollinators to the garden, which has been great. Over here we have our capsicum, and it's produced quite a few capsicums for us, which has been great. So we're going to look after him really well over the winter, and hopefully he survives. We're going to cover him with this green bag. We've been doing that when it's really cold here, and so far he's doing fine. Come along to this side, and I've just shoved a few things in. Planted. So I had some parsley growing in a pot from my mum, and I just put it in here. And then I put coriander seeds in this patch of dirt here, and I think they're starting to come up. They have taken their time. It's been about 2 weeks. And then here is some chives. That's a cord from my microphone. So these are chives from my auntie that I've just plonked in here in the summer, and they're doing really well. And then over here I've got mint that was in a pot, and I know mint can go wild and crazy, but it was just so pot bound, and I love loads of mint, so I'm just gonna keep an eye on how it grows, and if it takes over this section of the garden, I don't really care. I'll actually be happy. And next to that bed I then have this bed, which is empty in this half, and then this half I've done 3 rows of snow peas. Planted them expecting those ones were broad beans. So now I'm going to have double the snow peas. So I think I'll put broad beans in this section here. And then along the side here we just have some herbs and then strawberries that were growing from the summer. We might have to put them into the hothouse over the winter. not quite sure. And then over here is the last remnants of summer. Our cherry tomatoes and normal tomatoes are just going crazy. They're starting to die back now, so we might have to pull them out soon. But it's been fabulous having our own grown tomatoes that we haven't had to buy any from the shops, and they just taste so good. But yeah, they're coming to the end now. So when we pull these out, we'll put something new in this bed. Not sure what yet. So yeah, this is my final bed, and it has got garlic in it as well as onions and leeks. So the garlic I planted a couple weeks ago, and I'm really excited because it's all just come up, and I think it's because of the nice warm weather we've had. It's just really taken off. So I've done 3 or 4 to a row, and I've got 1, 2, 3 rows. I kind of wish I did the whole bed now, but because I didn't expect them to sort of take off. And then in here, I can't really see anything that is germinating yet, but I've got leek seeds and white Lisbon onion. So I'm not sure if they're going to take off or if I should have planted them as seedlings. It's all just experimenting for me right now. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that bed. So that's our autumn winter veggie patch for you. It is super windy and it's starting to get a little bit overcast and cold out here. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Thanks for watching if you've watched all this way through. I hope it has inspired some of you to get out in the garden and have a go. Just put things in the ground, and that's what we're doing. We're just learning as we go, and with the prices of food at the moment, like, oh, I saw broccoli was $7.50 a kilo, and zucchinis were something like $5.50 for a couple of them, and I just thought that's absolutely bonkers. So I'm really hoping this garden does well and that we can grow things. We don't have to rely on the supermarket.